welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessie, and as always, we are here to talk about plants. The first thing that I just need to say right off the bat is there are 131 people that are subscribed to me on this channel. 131 people. I know that that doesn't seem like anything to most people, especially to most people who consume a lot of content on YouTube, which I do. So, I mean, there are people that have thousands and millions of subscribers, but I kind of think of myself as kind of insignificant sometimes, and so it can be really, like, especially now during the pandemic, it can be really isolating. So when I realized that there was 131 people that cared what I had to say, like, that shook me. So I just need to say that if you subscribe to this channel, thank you so much, like, truly from the bottom of my heart, because this is really the only thing that's bringing me joy right now, my plants and making little YouTube videos. And so while we're on that topic, I do want to say that I was gone for like a little bit. I think I took a 2-week break. It's been about 2 weeks since I uploaded my last video. And that is just because I had finals. If you don't know, I am doing my master's degree right now. I will be done next semester, thank God. But yeah, so I just had some finals and life was hitting me pretty hard. I think as life is hitting everybody really hard right now. So yeah, I just needed to take a little bit of a break. But I am so happy to be back. Honestly, it feels really good. Like, I put makeup on, I got dressed. No, I didn't get dressed, I put on a sweatshirt. But I put makeup on, I curled my hair. I'm feeling good. Like, I'm so happy to be talking to you guys. I'm making this video today as a follow-up to a video that I made a couple of weeks ago. I'll link it up here in the cards if you haven't seen it. But it was an anti-haul of all the plants that I promised myself that I will never buy. And I wasn't really gonna make a follow-up to that video, except that somebody in the comments, somebody left a comment saying that they wanted to see more plant anti-hauls. And the fact that I make a request every single video for people to leave in the comments what they wanna see from me, there was only one person that's done it so far and listened. So I'm here, I'm doing your request. Hello, more people need to, hello, if you're seeing this video, please leave a comment down below letting me know what you wanna see from me, because I would be happy to make it. So here I am, back at it again with another anti-haul. First thing we need to do before we even talk about anything is the disclaimer, of course. That is just to say that I might say some things in here about plants that you love that I don't really love or that I don't have any intentions on buying, and that is totally fine. Every plant is so different and so unique, so your taste in plants might be different than my taste in plants, and that's totally okay. You do not need my permission to love plants that you love, just like I don't need your permission to love the plants that I love. So if you're offended by today's video, I truly am sorry. That is not my intent today. I do really like making these videos because it prompts me to like sit down and actually think about some of the plants that I just shouldn't spend my money on. And that helps me in a way because I'm somebody who's trying to transform my life and be a more like conscious and ethical consumer. And a more intentional consumer. And so with all the products that I buy in my life, I want to be much more intentional. Can you hear that? That's my boyfriend shoveling the sidewalk. With all the products in my life, I want to be more intentional about what I buy. So I've been buying a lot more like low waste products, things that aren't packaged in plastic, etc. And so I really do want to apply that kind of intentionality into the plants that I buy as well, because I love plants, like I really love them. And I didn't stop to think about which plants I truly loved and which plants were gonna bring me joy and which ones weren't. I would just buy them. Like I would just go rampant and buy plants all the time, which I have done in the past for sure. But I'm definitely trying to be a little bit more intentional about, like, if I'm gonna bring a plant into my home, I wanna know that it's gonna get the love and the care that it deserves. So this video really prompts me to think about the plants that I don't really want to buy. Before we start this video, I do just want to give credit really quick to Kimberly Clark, who I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, was the original, had the original concept for like an anti-haul. She is a makeup artist. Actually, I don't know if she's a makeup artist. She's a drag queen. She's incredible. She's so cool. She does makeup content. So not related to plants, but she did come up with the original concept of anti-hauls. So I do want to give credit where credit is due. It's a really great idea to kind of get people thinking more mindfully about the things that they bring into their home. So with that long-winded introduction, let's go ahead and get right into all of the plants I am never going to buy. I will not be bringing into my home. Plant number 1 on this list is going to be a Boston fern. Boston ferns are very, very popular, especially in the spring and summertime. They tend to be almost like a more seasonal plant. People put them outside a lot. You'll see like big hanging baskets of them on people's porches and stuff, along with like seasonal flowers and things like that that bloom only in the summertime. So they really become more available in the summertime, but you can buy them year round, I think. In most like nurseries, houseplant nurseries. And then so many people just kind of take them from outside and bring them into their homes and keep them as like houseplant indoors until next summer, bring them outside again, let it get some nice sunlight and bring them back in. So they're kind of an indoor-outdoor plant, which is really cool. Like if you're somebody that really likes to have plants outside, maybe you want to create like a little patio space where you have plants, Boston ferns are good plants in that aspect. The reason that I won't really buy them is just because I find them just to be a little bit boring. I don't know. I don't want to be like a hater, but I just think that they're a little bit not exciting to look at, and they do need a lot. They need a lot of humidity, they need a lot of water. They're very needy plants. They can get very crispy and brown pretty quickly if you neglect them. I don't really vibe with plants like that are like needy like that. I really like plants that are kind of more chill and don't need a lot from me. And also usually they're huge. Like I've never seen a Boston fern that's in like a small pot. I don't know, let me know if you have. I've never seen a Boston fern that's small. I've only ever seen them in like these huge oversized planters, which is cool if you're into like big plants, but I don't really have that much space in my home. The space that I do have is taken up by plants that I love. So I'm just not really trying to bring a Boston fern into my home. And for that reason, I will not be buying a Boston fern. Next plant, Coleus or Coleus. I think it's called a Coleus, but correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I've never heard anybody pronounce these plants. I've only seen them in writing. But Coleuses are another kind of plant that are very indoor-outdoor. They come in a lot of different varieties. If you're somebody that really loves like colors and different varieties of plants that are relatively cheap, then Coleuses might be for you. They are also indoor-outdoor plants, so they really love being outside in the summertime. Then you can bring them in and then acclimate them into your home and kind of go back in and out every year, which is, again, good for people who like doing that. I don't have an outdoor space in this apartment that I live in right now, so that's just not something that I'm doing anyway. And I kind of feel like they look, okay, don't come for me, but I kind of feel like they look a little bit like weeds. I'm sorry. They kind of look like, do they not kind of look like the plants that you would see like growing in the ground in the forest? Because that's what they look like to me. They just look like weeds. And I'm sorry if anybody loves them. I'm sorry. But I just find them a little bit boring. They're very flimsy. I really love plants that have more like tropical foliage, that have like nice, thick, waxy leaves. Coleuses don't really have that. They're very flimsy. They're more thinner. They have thinner leaves. Because they have thinner leaves, they do need a little bit more attention. Which is not to say that they're difficult to care for. They're really not. As far as I'm aware, they're really not that difficult to care for. But anytime a plant has thinner leaves, you know it probably needs a little bit more humidity, a little bit more moisture. So yeah, I'm just not trying to do them. I don't think they're that cute and I don't want one. So if you like them, great. I'm so happy for you. They're very versatile, they're fun, they have a lot of colors. I just don't really vibe with them, so I'm just not gonna buy one. The next plant that I have never spent money on except to buy for somebody else, and I will never spend money on for myself, are orchids. I think orchids are cute, but I just don't think they're worth all of the maintenance that they really require. Some people have no difficulties with orchids at all, and they find them relatively easy to care for. And I guess that's somewhat true in a way because they don't really need a lot of water. They kind of thrive on neglect, which is good. I like plants like that. But if you don't know how to take care of them in the best way, then yeah, they die. They die very easily. They need a lot of aeration in their roots. They need special pots, special soils, special fertilizer. Like altogether, just too much for me. I just don't care that much to take care of them. I'm not somebody who's like a flower person. I think it's cool when plants bloom. Like Hoya blooms are stunning and I really love them. And I love when like Hoya blooms are really stunning and I think that they're really pretty. But I just don't love like flowers. I don't have a lot of flowers. I don't have a lot of flowers in my home. So the whole like appeal of orchids where they flower just doesn't apply to me because it's just not, I don't really care that much. I don't know. Is that shitty? I don't know. I just don't really care that much about flowers. I think the only exception to that two orchids that I may buy maybe in the future would be a jewel orchid, because that's really been the only orchid that I've seen that has been like, wow, that's really pretty, because the foliage on it is like really veiny and really pretty. So maybe in the future I'll buy a jewel orchid. I don't have one now and I don't have any plans to buy one, but if I saw one, I might buy it. So that's really the only exception there. But otherwise, orchids are just, they're a no for me. Otherwise, the next plant that I don't really have any intentions on buying is going to be a coral cactus. Mostly, I think the reason that I don't want to buy one of these is because anytime that I've ever seen one in person, it's been glued into its pot with like gravel on top. So you tell me how you're supposed to water a plant that has gravel glued to the top of it. That's just not realistic. I don't know. And aside from that, they don't really do much. Like, they don't really grow that much. They kind of just exist. A little bit boring to me. They don't do a whole lot, and they're typically solely glued into their pots, which I find just really irritating. So yeah, I'm probably not gonna buy a coral cactus. You probably shouldn't either. I don't know. The next plant that I will not probably will not buy is a palm. Any palm, honestly. And that's for a couple of different reasons. The first reason is just that I don't really find them that attractive. I think they all look very similar. I do think that really big, like majesty palms can be really unique, like statement pieces in your decor. If you need like a big tall plant that's relatively inexpensive, palms are usually a good way to go in that aspect, because you can get relatively big palms for cheap-ish. But with that said, they're also like super spider mite magnets. I don't exactly know why that is, but just some plants in general have more of a tendency to get spider mites than some other plants. And palms are one of those plants that just really like attract spider mites. And so I'm just not trying to bring that into my life. I've never really been like drawn to palms, and I just don't, so I'm just not gonna buy one. I'm just not gonna do it. I will say the only palm that I've ever really been interested in has been a ponytail palm. I think that ponytail palms are a little bit more unique looking, so I have been tempted in the past to buy one. But then I think I heard in passing somewhere, I don't even know if this is true, but I did hear in passing somewhere that ponytail palms are toxic to pets. And I try and be on top of those kind of things. I try not to bring plants into my home that are very toxic, because I have a cat who's a muncher, and she's just like a little savage, and she just runs around the house all the time just getting into shit. If anyone can confirm to me that they're not toxic, I might actually buy one, but I don't know if they are. I just heard that at one point, and so I've never bought one. But the next plant that I'm not going to buy probably ever is a Staghorn Fern. This is not for any aesthetic reasons. I actually think that Staghorn Ferns are really cool looking. Like they can be really like a really unique statement piece in decor. And I think that that's really cool. But the thing is, usually in order for a Staghorn Fern to really thrive, they want to be mounted onto like bark or wood or I don't know, planks, whatever. Because they're epiphytic in their natural environment, they're epiphytic. So they kind of grow like off trees. So they want to be living like that. And the thing is, most of the time when you buy Staghorn Ferns, you buy them in like a pot, and then you have to kind of go through the hassle of then mounting them onto a board. And that's just too much for me. Like, I really love plants, but I don't love plants that much. So I've just never invested in one because I feel like I don't care enough to go ahead and get it mounted. So I don't know, maybe someday in the future I'll buy one if I see one that's like pre-mounted. But then if they're pre-mounted, they're like way more expensive, like $100. So I can't really see myself buying one in the future. I do think they're cute, but it's just, they're not for me, you know? I saved the most controversial plant for last. As I did in my last video, I did say that I would never be buying a pink princess philodendron in my last video. And so I saved the most famous or controversial plant for last as well. And that is a Monstera Obliqua Adansonii, or Monstera Adansonii Obliqua. I don't know how you would say it. These plants are thousands of dollars. They are thousands of dollars. And I just have to say that if you feel pressure from like society, from like plant videos, from whatever, from loving plants, I don't know, if you feel pressure to buy one of these for thousands of dollars, let me give you permission to not do that. Like, let's not do that. I don't want to tell people how to spend their money, but I do just want to say that literally $2,000 to $3,000 will feed you for months, okay? You don't need it. They're very cute, but that is so much money. They're also very difficult. They're very finicky to take care of, which is part of the reason I think why they're so expensive, because they're hard to replicate and grow and breed. So I understand why there's so much money, but it's just, you don't need it. I don't need it. You don't need it. Nobody needs a plant that's thousands of dollars. You can go to your local nursery and buy a Monstera and Insodii for $30 right now. So you don't need to buy an Obliqua. I think they're cool looking. They have really cool like wavy leaves and fenestrations. They're beautiful, don't get me wrong, but I don't need that. I do not need that in my life. If in like 10 years, 5 years, they come down in price, like a couple $100s, sure, I might buy one. But for $3,000, no, I don't need it and I'm not gonna buy it. I just wanna say thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, I think so few people make it to the actual end of my video, so thank you so much if you watched it. If you are one of the 131 people that subscribe to me, thank you so much. Like, I don't even know, like, thank you for thinking that I'm important enough to listen to even once, let alone wanting to be subscribed to me. That's incredible. And I just want to say thank you so much. Please go ahead and leave a comment below if there's a video that you want to see from me. I probably will make it because I have nothing better to do. Go ahead and leave a comment below if there's anything you want to see from me. And I hope you guys are just staying safe and healthy. And I hope you're taking a little bit of time for you, whether that's watching YouTube plant videos or caring for your plants. I think it's so important now more than ever to do things that are really good for the soul, because life is crazy right now. It's really rough out there. So I hope that you're staying well and taking care of yourself. I'm trying to do the same. We're all just out here struggling, but I'm struggling with you. So you are in my thoughts, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.